Hi guys and welcome back to my second channel, CFCYT, a channel that brings you all of the latest and greatest football and Chelsea news. I've neglected it for too long focusing on my main channel, but we're back because I have to create a video on this. We have just won the Champions League. Incredible end to the season. Anyway, I'm going to be doing my player ratings for the actual match, and I want you to let me know in the comments whether you agree with them, disagree with them. We'll have a little chat about all things Chelsea, and continuing going forwards, I am definitely going to be focusing much more on this second channel, so stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let's get straight to the first player in the match, which is of course Mendy, and he had a pretty decent game. A couple of shaky starts, a couple of shaky moments at the start, should I say, from Sterling, for example, when he went through and he looked a little bit shaky. But outside of that, he wasn't really troubled. We did a great defensive job, and we'll get to the defenders in a second. So he wasn't really that troubled. So I'd have to say a solid 7 out of 10. Now we're going to go on to the back, the rear guard. We had Ben Chilwell, of course, playing as a left wing back. We'll start with him. Kept Riyad Mahrez very, very quiet indeed. A very, very good performance from him. Not quite as much going forwards that we're used to seeing, but he obviously had a specific job, and that was to keep Man City quiet. As soon as we scored the goal, of course, we were obviously going to be much more defensive as well. So a very, very solid performance. I'm going to have to go with another 7 because he didn't do anything outlandishly brilliant to push him further up. But yeah, another very solid performance. If we flip to the other side, we had, of course, Reece James playing right wing back. And he produced on one of the, well, pretty much the biggest club football match. He produced an incredibly mature performance. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 because he had the task, like Chilwell did with Riyad Mahrez, he had the task of keeping Raheem Sterling quiet. And it was just, it looked like a man against a boy at one point because Raheem Sterling had the pace to get in, just about getting behind a couple of occasions, but the recovery from our boy Reece was just incredible. And he was very solid. He kept possession when he needed to. There was a couple of times when he actually was mature enough and had the confidence to actually take the ball out of defence as well, eluding a couple of Man City challenges as well. Really, really good performance. So an 8 out of 10 for him. Again, not as much going forwards as we're used to seeing possibly from him, but I think he was slightly better than Ben Chilwell, but very, very similar. I'm going to go with an 8. Then we go to the rear guard. Thiago Silva didn't really do a lot because obviously he came off injured. So I can't really judge him too much. He was pretty solid I think he played about 35, 40 minutes in the end. 6 out of 10. I can't really give him any more than that because he didn't really produce any more minutes on the pitch. Then we go to who else we had at the back. We had Azpilicueta, our lad Dave, of course. He was... I mean, what a captain. The interview at the end with Kai Havertz when he came in, and that's just what he had to say about him. They're the sort of words you want from your captain, bringing everybody together. But on the pitch as well, he had a very not poor start to the season, but he had a difficult start to the season under Frank Lampard. He wasn't getting as many minutes as he would like. Since Thomas Tuchel has come in, he's played pretty much every single minute. He's been incredible. What a servant to the club as well. And of course, I think he came in just after we won the Champions League in 2012. And he's finally got to the Holy Grail himself. That's why he came to the club. He wanted to win the big honours, and of course now he's done it as captain. A great performance from him. Another 8 out of 10. He made a brilliant block or interception up over the crossbar with his left foot. The ball got whipped in. I think it was from, I'm trying to think, Gundogan was at the back post. It was a simple tap in and he managed to get there in front of him and smash it up over the top. That was just one of the things, but outside of that, again, incredibly solid performance from him. Captain's performance in a Champions League final. So 8 out of 10 for him. Christensen came on for Thiago Silva. A 7 out of 10. I thought he was brilliant. I was a little bit worried. I'm not personally... Kurt Zouma's been a little bit indifferent this season, and I was a little bit worried when I thought at one point he was going to bring on Kurt Zouma for Thiago Silva. And he has looked a little bit shaky at times, especially against Man City in the game that we beat them 2-1. A couple of penalty incidents that could have gone either way. When he brought on Christensen, I thought, you know what? If he's fit he should do a good job. He's been pretty decent in that sort of centre of the three at the back. And yeah, he seemed fit enough to me, and he had another very, very solid performance. Can't give him any more than a 7 because, again, he had less minutes, but the minutes he did play, he made another brilliant block, I think, when the ball got played down the right-hand side, and no, it came from the left, and Ben Chilwell then tried to slide and kick it. He missed it, and then the ball got put back in towards Phil Foden, and he was there to snuff out the danger. That was with about 10 minutes to go. A brilliant block from him, just one of the many things that he did. 7 out of 10. Rudiger, another 8 out of 10 performance from him. This guy is a man mountain. Another guy similar to Azpilicueta, who's had a difficult start to the season under Frank Lampard, didn't get many, if any, minutes really. Kurt Zouma was favoured to him. Obviously, a personality clash between him and Lampard. Again, Thomas Tuchel's come in and he's played most of the minutes. And again, he was an absolute monster. Brilliant block from Phil Foden in that first half. When it looked for all the world to see, it was just going to play the left foot outside of the right, left foot outside of the right, outside of the left foot into the bottom corner. Rudiger came across with a brilliant block, and that pretty much set up the rest of the game from there. Now we move on to midfield, and we start with N'Golo Kante. I mean, this guy, he's just ridiculous. People talk about how he takes up the space of 2 players. I think it's more than that at times. He was unbelievable. He's been brilliant, not only defensively, but driving with possession as well, and sort of leading or starting attacks throughout this season. And the tackle he made on Kevin De Bruyne as he went through, and he came back and made that brilliant right foot slide tackle was just unreal. And they just couldn't find a way around him. Riyad Mahrez a couple of times dropped the shoulder, came in on his left foot, looked like he was going to sort of play the ball out towards the left or take a shot on. N'Golo Kante was there. N'Golo Kante. Sorry for the singing. Let's stop that right there. But yeah, brilliant performance from him. 9 out of 10 star performance from him. He was just electric. You've only got to look at the honours he's won since he's come in to the Premier League. He's won the Premier League with Leicester, with Chelsea. He's won the Europa League. He's now won the Champions League. He's won, cups with France. He's just amazing. If he doesn't win the Ballon d'Or this year, I think maybe you could argue Lewandowski, but if France have a good tournament in the summer, then I can only see him as being a worthy winner for, sometimes those sorts of players don't get the recognition they deserve, and I think he's just been incredible again. N'Golo Kante, we owe you so much, and please don't ever leave, because you're just a dream, and what a nice guy as well. He's not not egotistical, just gets on with his job, always got a smile on his face, a great ambassador for the game. Well done, N'Golo Kante. Now we go on to our boy Mason Mount, and this guy, he has come through the youth academy. He's been there since day dot. He knows the club inside out. It's such a pleasure. I'm sure a lot of you Chelsea fans out there will agree that we've waited for a player who can come through the youth academy and do what John Terry did, for example. We've been waiting too long. We've had so many talented players that have come through. But to find a place and maintain a place in that starting lineup has been something that we haven't had in many a year. And to finally have it in Mason Mount is a joy to see. The fact that he's going to be playing for England, I mean, I might make some England content going into the summer, but that England squad just looks unreal at the moment. The likes of Phil Foden, Jack Grealish. It just looks so exciting going forwards. But Mason Mount, he didn't have the best of games, I'd have to say, in the Champions League final. Everyone was talking about who's going to perform better, Mason Mount or Phil Foden. I thought both of them were decent. I thought Phil Foden probably was one of the better Man City performers. Him and probably Ruben Diaz had a good game as well, but let's not get on Man City. We don't care. Let's talk about Chelsea. Come on! Mason Mount, yeah, not the best performance from him, but he set up the goal, and it was a brilliant pass, and a I think Tuchel made a good decision to take him off. I think he was looking a little bit leggy towards the end. Kovacic came on just to sort of shore things up. But yeah, I would probably have gone with a 6 out of 10 for Mason Mount in the Champions League final, but for that assist, and of course goals and assists change games, the old cliche. So I'd have to probably push that up to a 7. Because outside of that, he had a one chance to play it into Werner, and the shot from Werner went straight into Ederson. But the pass was a little bit sort of into Werner's feet, a little bit behind him almost. So it kind of, if he played it a little bit in front of him, then he would have had an easier shot. And we'll get on to Werner in a second. But yeah, he could have done, there's a couple of chances that he could have made a little bit better. But yeah, solid 7 out of 10 for Mason Mount. Who else do we? Jorginho. Looked a little bit tired towards the end. He was getting definitely leggy. He's had a shaky few weeks, I'm not going to lie, Jorginho. He has been one of these players that you kind of either love him or hate him. He's one of these players that definitely drives the tempo in matches. He keeps things ticking over, and he can be so influential in how a game actually pans out. He had a very, very solid first half, probably first 60 minutes or so. Made a couple of really crucial blocks. Again, kept the possession ticking over. Very comfortable, as always, on the ball. And he definitely tired towards the end. And he, a couple of times, he wasn't quite tracking back as much as you would like to see in that position. Hence the reason probably why Tuchel brought on took off Mason Mount and brought on Kovacic, just to help him out in there alongside Kante in that. Therefore, then a 3. Yeah, so I'd probably give Jorginho maybe a 6. Is that a bit harsh? I don't know. Let me know in the comments whether that's a bit harsh. Timo Werner. Right. This guy is so frustrating because if he could, can he shoot? Have we worked out whether he's actually a football player or a striker or someone who's just quick? No, he's far more than just pace. He definitely stretches teams. He makes defenders' lives very, very difficult. You could see that Manchester City were petrified of Timo Werner's pace. He was constantly on the ball. The one thing I love about Timo Werner is no matter how many chances he spurns, and he does spurn a lot, He's always there. He's always there or thereabouts. He always wants to get in those positions. He's always craving the ball. He demands the ball, and that is, you can see so many times. We're Chelsea fans. We've seen so many strikers come to our club and just disappear with a graveyard of strikers. But dissimilar to, say, Fernando Torres, for example, who just looked a million miles away from where he could be after a barren spell. Timo Werner still is always there or thereabouts, and he will miss chances, but he gets up and he goes again, and he'll miss another chance and he'll get up and go again. And he has scored a few very, very important goals for us this season. Wasn't to be the other day. The swing and a miss on the left foot was terrible. The shot we mentioned about Mason Mount's pass could have been a bit better, but he still could have made more of it. But outside of that, like I said, he made a menace of himself up against Ruben Diaz. He actually dragged John Stones away as well to create the space for Kai Havertz, of course, for the goal. So he was influential, even though he didn't really do the job that most people expect him to do, and that's score goals. He caused a nuisance, and Kai Havertz is... Have we done a rating for Timo Werner? No. 6. Is that harsh again? In a Champions League final winning team to give Jorginho and Werner 6? I can't really give him any more than that because and I'm not just saying this, but I probably would have scored one of those chances. So, 6 for Timo Werner. And then we go on to Kai Havertz. The match winner, the German extraordinaire, the left foot wizard. He's had a tough season, probably the toughest out of all of the new signings. He's had difficulties. He, of course, caught the dreaded lurgy that we won't name on this video. But it did make me laugh that all those people mugging off his performances this season, and he's just probably won us the greatest ever trophy the game will ever see. The best club trophy on the planet, Kai Havertz, has delivered us that with a wonderful run and finish. His touch was a little bit heavy on the rounding of Ederson. I thought actually had Ederson not have connected with the ball, it might have just gone straight out of play. It looked like he might have overrun it a little bit, but great movement to get into the position. Like we said, lovely pass from Mason Mount. Zinchenko all over the place. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Even though he saw the run late, he just looked like he was running in treacle as well. He scored an incredibly important goal. He won us the Champions League. I'm not going to give him a 9 like N'Golo Kante, because outside of the goal, he did do another great run and pass towards Christian Pulisic, who came on. And unfortunately, that should have probably ended in a goal, but and therefore an assist, and that would have probably got him my man of the match. But it didn't, and I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10 for Kai Havertz. So one of the better performers, but I don't think he was quite as good as N'Golo Kante on the night. So 8 out of 10 for Kai Havertz. Substitutes Christian Pulisic, as mentioned, had that great chance to make it 2-0 and soften all of the nerves that were building and jangling around inside all of our Chelsea heads. Wasn't to be, and 6 out of 10 outside of that. He had one chance to break away from Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker did well to actually catch him up. Then we go on to the other substitutes. Kovacic didn't really do a lot. 5, 6, 5. Yeah, probably 5. Didn't really see much of him at all. That was all the changes that we made. An incredible performance all round. I thought we made Manchester City look incredibly average. Many people are talking about how the fact that Pep Guardiola didn't choose Fernandinho or Rodri was the reason why we won the Champions League, and had he have played those, they would have done. But I think many people are also forgetting that he did play Fernandinho in at least one of the games that we played them this year, and we beat them then as well. So I think it was in the FA Cup semi-final. Yes, rotation, but we rotated a little bit as well in that game. I just think currently right now, Thomas Tuchel is incredible. Like, obviously, I'm giving Thomas Tuchel a 9, by the way, as well. Him and Kante together were just electric. In the decisions he made, I could not fault the starting lineup at all. And I couldn't fault, it was almost to the minute that I was screaming for changes to be made. He did them. I called for Mason Mount to come off because I thought he looked a little bit tired towards the end. And he did. He brought on Kovacic. I also said, bring on Pulisic because we can hit him on the counter-attack. He did that and almost paid off. And Christensen, again, that pretty much does itself, that substitution with Thiago Silva coming out. So I can't fault Thomas Tuchel at all. Again, hats off to Frank Lampard. He gave us the platform last season. He did a brilliant job in bringing some of these youth players forwards into the first team, the likes of Mason Mount, etc. And he got us into the Champions League in the first place. And of course, we had a great group stage with him. So he definitely needs some plaudits as well. But the change in mentality since Thomas Tuchel's come in has just been a breath of fresh air. And he's just incredibly special, what he's achieved in that short amount of time. Brilliant performance from Thomas Tuchel on the night as well. A brilliant team performance. I'm incredibly happy. I'm sure a lot of you other Chelsea fans are incredibly happy. Like I said, let me know in the comment section below what you think of those player ratings, what you would have given the individual players. List them if you want, from start to finish, from goalkeeper to centre forward and manager as well. Let me know how you rated them. Let me know what you thought of the game. Were we deserved winners? If you're a Man City fan, did we deserve it? Did we not deserve it? If you're a Chelsea fan, what are your thoughts about next season? Do you think we can go and win the Premier League? Who do we need to sign? I'm going to be doing some transfer rumours and obviously announcements as well. As and when they happen over the summer. We need a centre forward, really, don't we? Someone who's going to get 25, 30 goals a season. The likes of Harry Kane and Haaland as well is also another firm favourite of mine. Kane, I don't think will happen because of the Spurs connection. I've got a feeling we're going to get Lukaku again. And I'm not sure how I feel about that because I didn't rate him really when he was at the club. I didn't rate him at Manchester United. But apparently he's changed in the Serie A. Apparently he's leaned down. Apparently his touch is better. Apparently he's a better, more complete centre forward. And if he is, I'm going to give him the support when he comes in and we'll judge it, give him a season, see how he gets on. Let me know what you think about those 3 players who you would like to sign as well if you are a Chelsea fan. Like and share if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. And like I said, I will be doing much more of this sort of content going forwards, previews, reviews of matches, and of course, transfer news, etc. So subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you can see those videos as and when they drop. Check out my main channel. It's everything related to tech, unboxings, reviews, etc. I will leave that listed and linked below as well. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.